Hello guys, welcome back. Today we'll be looking at the same problem again, the minimum jumps to reach end of array problem, but with a very efficient algorithm. This is a big of n time solution and it just takes constant space. Okay, no extra buffer, no extra array required, only just a couple of variables and we are good to go. Okay. Just to recap, we have seen the bottom up and top down approach in the previous video. So if you haven't seen that, I suggest you watch it in the top right corner of your screen. And without further ado, let's get on with it. Alright, the goal is to reach the last element in the array starting from the first position. And every time that you take a jump, you can go a maximum of that many number of steps that is indicated by the array element value. Okay, so from first element you can take maximum of only one step for your jump, and from 3 you can take maximum of 3 steps. So you can either take one step, that is go to 5 and then proceed, or you can directly take 2 steps in this jump and proceed, or maximum you can take 3 steps in this jump and proceed. Like this we continue until we reach the last element, and we need to find the minimum number of jumps to reach the end last element of the array. Okay, so in this approach, in this algorithm, we shall be keeping track of few things. Okay, one thing is we keep the maximum reachable index at any point. So we'll be looking at all the elements in the array. We go on traversing starting from the first element, and at every point we keep track of certain things. Okay, so let's list out some of the things that we need along the way. Okay, one is we keep track of the maximum reachable index and the steps that we can still take. Okay, steps that are possible, and we keep track of the jumps to reach the maximum reachable index. Okay, how many number of jumps that you need to reach the maximum reachable index position. Okay, so these are the things that we'll be tracking. Now let's initialize these variables. We start from the first element and go on traversing each element. So initially when we start the first element, the maximum reachable index is the value of the first element itself. From from the zeroth index element, that which has a value 1, we can only reach maximum of one step. We can go maximum of only one step. So we can only reach the index 1, okay, which is indicated by the first element. So that is the maximum reachable index, and the number of jumps is 1, because to reach the maximum reachable index, that is to reach index 1 which has a value 3, we need one jump. Okay, from first element we take one jump. Also note that a jump is not the same as a step, because a jump in a jump you can take multiple steps. So let's say we are looking at element 3, and from 3 we can take a jump which consists of 3 steps. In 3 steps we can take a jump to 9, or we can take just 2 steps and jump to 8. Like this, maximum of 3 steps we can take. Okay, so jumps and steps are different. Alright, we need at least one jump to reach max reachable index. Now the number of steps possible is again the value of the first element. Okay, so when we start traversing the array, when we look at the first element, the number of steps that are possible to take from that is equal to 1. Okay, so let's say our first element was 5, so the number of steps that we can still take from that element is 5 steps. Okay, so number of steps possible is the first element in the array. Let's take a look at the algorithm. Okay, so starting from the first index in the array, that is starting from the second element, we start our iteration after initializing all these variables, and at every point in iteration we update these variables. Okay, so let's look at the algorithm. First we check if we have reached the end of the array in the iteration. If you have reached the end of the array, then just return the number of jumps to reach that position. So that is the result. If it's not the end of the array, we update the maximum reachable index. Okay, so when we start by looking at the second element, the maximum reachable index will be equal to either the current maximum reachable index or the current index that we are looking at plus the value. Okay, so that will give us the maximum reachable index. So once we update that, we decrement the number of steps possible, because when we are traversing or iterating through the array, that means we are taking one more and more steps. Okay, so from the first element we have reached the second element, so that means one step we have taken, so the number of steps that are still possible will be decremented. Okay, so we decrement the number of steps. Finally, we check if the remaining steps has reached 0. Okay, after we decrement the steps, after we use up a step, we see if it has become 0. So if that is the case, then it is clear that we must have used a jump. Okay, so if that is the case, we increase the number of jumps. So here, taking an example, when we started from the first element, we took one step here. So initially we had initialized number of possible steps to the value, that is 1. From 1, the first element, we took a step forward and went to 3. Okay, so now at 3, since we have taken a step forward, we decrement the number of steps. So number of steps is now 0. Okay, since it is 0, we know that we have used up a jump. So we reinitialize steps and we increment the jumps. Increment jumps and reinitialize steps to the maximum reachable index minus the current index. Okay, so here, what is the maximum once we look at the second element, we calculate the maximum reachable index. So maximum reachable index will be from 3, from index 1. Maximum reachable is 1 plus 3, the value. So that will be 4. Index 4 has element 9. So 9 is the maximum reachable position. So we reinitialize steps to be equal to maximum reachable index, that is 4 minus the current index, 4 minus 1, 3. Okay, so the number of steps will be reinitialized to 3. That would mean from 3 we can take 3 steps. And the failure condition would be if our current index goes beyond the maximum reachable index, then that means we cannot reach the last element. Anyway, before we proceed to code, let's understand this better by actually visualizing how these variables change. In the beginning, we initialize these 3 variables with the corresponding value of the first element. Okay, number of jumps is 1 and maximum reachable steps is the first element, and also the number of steps. Okay, so from the next element onwards, our iteration starts. When we reach the next element, what do? We check if the current index is equal to the last index. Okay, so it's not the last element, so we don't do anything. The next thing is we update the maximum reachable index. So previously maximum reachable index was 1. Now the maximum reachable index will be 3 plus the current index, that is 1. Okay, so either this value or the previous maximum reachable index. So here maximum is 4, so max reachable index is 4. That means we are looking at 9. Okay, so since we went from I is equal to 0 and came to the next element, we took one step forward, so we decrement the number of steps. Now number of steps will be 0. So because we don't have any steps left, that means we have used a jump. Since we have used a jump, we increment the jump and reinitialize the number of steps to be equal to a maximum reachable index minus the current index. Okay, so the maximum reachable index is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. We reinitialize steps to be 3. So here what this means is, once we have used all the steps, or once we consider that as a new jump, from that element onwards, how many steps that we can take to reach the maximum reachable index. So that will be the maximum reachable index minus the current index. Okay, so we can take 3 more steps to reach the maximum index. Now we take a step forward and we move to the next element. So I is equal to 2. We are looking at 5 now. From here, what will be the maximum reachable index? From here, 2 plus 5, that is 7. Okay, so the maximum reachable index will be this guy. Okay, 7. So either that or the previous maximum reachable index, whatever is maximum, we take that. Okay, so max index will be 2 plus the value. Okay, 5, that means 7. So it corresponds to the element 7. And since we reached from the second element I is equal to 1 to the next element, we decrement the steps. Okay, we continue this until our steps count becomes 0, at which point it's clear that we must have used the jump and we increment the jump. Okay, similarly for the next element, we go on to looking at the next element, that is 8. Max index is 3 plus 8, that is 11. Number of steps, we took a step, so we decremented. Number of jumps remains constant. We move to the next element, that is 9. Max reachable index will be 9 plus 4, that is 13. This is the maximum, greater than 11. Okay, so now we must have used another step. When the number of steps becomes 0, that means we must have used a jump, so we increment the jump and we reinitialize steps. How do we reinitialize? We do maximum reachable index minus the current index. So that means 13 minus 4, that is 9. Okay, so here just to understand things a bit more clear, let us say we had 4 instead of 3. The reason that we do reinitialize steps depending on the maximum reachable index is maximum reachable index minus the current index is, the reason we do that is, let's say instead of 3 we had 4. So now when we reach 9, our remaining steps will not be 0, it will be 1. So we move on to the next index. Okay, so instead of 0, it will still be 1. And we move on to the next index. So now our steps will become 0, and here the maximum reachable index will not be 2 plus the current index, that is 5, because the current maximum reachable index is already greater than the new index that we have calculated, so it will remain the same. So next time, so when we move ahead and the steps becomes 0, we make sure that when we reinitialize the steps, we are reinitializing depending on the max reach value of the previous element here. So here, as you can already observe, when we take the steps from 4, we should take the number of steps in such a way that we will be able to reach further. Okay, so if you look at all these 4 elements, if we first go from 4 to 9 and then take a jump from there, because if we take jump from 9, we can take the maximum number of steps. That means we can go much farther. So instead of taking step from 2, where we will only be able to reach 7, we should be taking the steps from 9. Okay, so how do we come up with this solution? How do we get to know that we should take the jump from 9? That is through the maximum reachable index that we are calculating at every iteration. Okay, so that is the logic behind reinitializing steps depending on the max reach. Okay, so we reinitialize steps with 13 minus the current index 4, and jumps is 3, and the iteration will continue. In the next, when I is equal to 5, we move on to from 9 we move on to 2. Here if we calculate that max reach index, that is 2 plus the current index, that is 5, so that is 7. So maximum is 13 itself, so we don't update the max reach index, we continue with the same. And since we took a step forward, we decrement the number of steps and the number of jumps will remain the same. Okay, so this, as you can already see, this will continue further, and our max reachable index will go on staying the same value, because this is the maximum that we can reach. And when we reach the element 7, then we recalculate the maximum reachable index, that is 7 plus the current index, that is 7. So this will turn out to be 14. 14 is greater than the previous max reach, so we update max reach. Okay, number of steps we decrement. Okay, so as you can see, this will continue until the last element, and we go on recalculating max reach index and updating it. And whenever steps become 0, we increment the jump and reinitialize steps depending on the max reach value. Okay, so once our current index reaches the last element in the array, we just return the number of jumps. Okay, so this is the total solution, the final solution. Now let's look at the failure case. So failure case means we won't be able to reach the last element in the array. So when does the failure case happen? When our current index goes beyond max reach. That means when I is greater than max reach. Okay, so let's take an example of when this can happen. So let's say my these three elements were 0. Now when we are looking at the index 1 here, the maximum reachable index was initially 1 before. Now when we find the current max value, it is 0 plus 1. So max reach index is 1 itself, and the number of steps had become 0. So we increment the count, we increment the jumps, and we reinitialize steps to be max minus I. Okay, max reach index, that is 1 minus 1, that will be 0. So if my I is greater than or equal to the max reach index at any point of time, at any iteration, that means we won't be able to go forward, and we just return some failure case, let's say minus 1. Okay, so steps is equal to 0 after this iteration means that we won't be able to move forward. Okay, so this corresponds to our failure case. Okay, so let's code this solution. We start our iteration from the second element till the last element. If we are looking at the last element in the array, that means we have found our solution. We have reached the last element, and we just return the number of jumps. Otherwise, we continue with our iteration. We reinitialize max reach to be equal to the current max reachable or current index plus the array element value. Once we update maximum reachable, we decrement the number of steps possible, and if the number of possible steps remaining is equal to 0, what do? We reinitialize steps. Okay, we increment the jumps, number of jumps we increment, and we check that failure case. Okay, if our current index goes beyond the maximum reachable, we just return minus 1. Beyond or equal to max reachable, this is a failure case. Otherwise, we reinitialize step. Okay, minus max reachable minus the current index. Okay, so this is our algorithm. So whenever we reach the last element, we are returning the number of jumps. Okay, so let's run this and see. As you can see, we get the number of jumps as 3. That is the expected solution for the current array. Alright, that's it for this video. Hope you guys found it useful. If you did, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. See you guys next time.